I want to say something that I think the wellness industry gets fundamentally wrong. The message, stated or implied, is that healing is an inside job. The work is yours to do. That with enough discipline, enough practice, enough self awareness, you can regulate your own nervous system entirely on your own. And the science says, not quite. Your nervous system did not develop in isolation, it developed in relationships. It was shaped by the nervous systems of the people around you from birth, through childhood, through every significant relationship you've ever had. And it heals most powerfully and most durably in relationships too. The third step of the YUSR method is seek. And today I want to help you understand what you're actually seeking and why going to find it is not a sign of a weakness, but the most scientifically sound thing you can do. I want to start with something a lot of women in my community tell me they carry, a sense that needing help means they are not coping. That if their nervous system regulation practice was good enough, they wouldn't need anything external. That asking for support is in some way a failure of the self work. And I want to say this directly, that belief is not just unhelpful, it's biologically incorrect. You are not designed to regulate alone. The human nervous system evolved in community, in proximity to other nervous systems. It learned to read facial expressions, to attune to vocal tone, to settle in the presence of safety, and alert in the presence of threat, all of which require other people. Seeking is not supplementary to regulation work, it's a part of the mechanism. The concept I want to build this video around is co regulation. Co regulation is the process by which one nervous system influences and helps to regulate another. It is the biological foundation of every meaningful relationship you have ever had. When you were an infant, you had no capacity to self regulate. Your nervous system was entirely dependent on the people caring for you to regulate it. A calm, present caregiver produced a calm infant, not through instruction, but through proximity, tone of voice, quality of touch, facial expressions, and patterned breath. This is not a metaphor, it is measurable physiology. Heart rates synchronize, cortisol levels mirror each other. The nervous system of people in a closed, regulated relationship can really align with each other. As we grow, we develop the capacity for self regulation, for bringing ourselves back to calm, for managing our own activation without needing the presence of another person. But this capacity of self regulation is built on the foundation of co regulation. We learn to self regulate because we were co regulated enough time to internalize what safe feels like. And when that foundation was fragile, when the co regulation we received in early life was inconsistent or frightening or absent, self regulation is harder, the baseline is higher, the window of tolerance is narrower. And for all of us, regardless of how solid our early foundation was, there are limits to what self regulation can do. There are states of activation where the nervous system cannot bring itself back alone. It needs another regulated nervous system to borrow safety from. That is not weakness. That is how you were built. Seek in the YUSR method has three layers. The first layer is seeking what you need in this moment. The specific intervention your nervous system is asking for. This is what we covered in the understanding step, identifying which state you are in and what that state needs. Sometimes what you need is movement, sometimes breath, sometimes stillness, sometimes food or water or sleep. Seek is the act of identifying it and going towards it rather than defaulting to whatever you did when you're dysregulated. The second layer is seeking co regulation. This means asking, who or what can I be in the proximity of right now that will help my nervous system feel safer? It might be a person, a friend, a therapist, a partner, or it might be an animal. It might be a physical environment, a particular place that your body knows as safe. And the third layer, the one I think is the most important for sustained health, is seeking a container, a regular, structured source of support that you can return to consistently over time. Because the nervous system doesn't change from a single regulated experience. It changes from repeated regulated experiences accumulated over weeks and months, building a new baseline, establishing new patterns. A single yoga class when you are in crisis is valuable, but a practice you return to every week inside a community that knows you and expects you back, that is a container that creates lasting change. I want to be practical here because I find that seek is the step that most people stall. They understand what they need, they know that they need support, but they don't go and get it because it feels like too much or too expensive or too vulnerable. So let me name the specific thing I'd encourage you to seek, depending on where you are. If you are in a period of acute crisis, a fresh divorce, a pregnancy loss, a period of significant anxiety, seek a therapist, specifically one trained in somatic approaches or in EMDR or in trauma informed practice. You need someone who works at that level. If you are in the maintenance phase, life is hard but not in crisis. Seek a consistent embodied practice. Yoga, somatic movement, breath work, something that lives in the body, not just in the mind. And ideally, something with a teacher. Because a teacher provides co regulation that a solo app cannot. If you're carrying this weight in silence, seek community. Other women who are going through what you're going through. The nervous system is particularly regulated by the experience of being witnessed and understood by people who genuinely know how it feels like. That is different from sympathy, it is recognition. And if you're ready for a more structured approach, a framework that takes you through each step of this process in a held, sequenced way, seek a program. Something with a container, a cohort, a clear path through. I want to say one more thing about seek because I think it's the most honest thing I can say. Seeking requires vulnerability. It requires admitting that you don't have enough internal resources right now, that you need something you can't generate alone, that you are asking for support, for connection, for help. For many women, this is genuinely hard. We have been socialized to manage, to cope, to hold it together. Asking feels like exposing something that should be kept private. And the nervous system, particularly the one that has learned through experiences that asking wasn't safe or wasn't met or was met with criticism, may resist this step of seeking. It may have very good reasons for that resistance. If it's true for you, yield applies here. You don't have to override that resistance. You can turn towards it, name it, understand what it's protecting you from, and then gently, one small step, seek anyway. The first seek doesn't have to be a full one. It can be a comment on a video, a text to a friend, a search for a therapist, a visit to a waitlist page. One small step towards connection is a nervous system intervention in itself. The practice I want to give you this week is a seek inventory. Take a piece of paper or a note on your phone and write 3 columns. Column 1: what do I need right now? Name the specific thing your nervous system is asking for as precisely as you can. Not support, something more specific. More sleep, a body based practice 3 times a week. Someone to talk to who understands this, a framework to follow. Column 2. What do I have access to? Be honest about your resources: time, money, energy, geography. What is actually available to you? Column 3. What is the smallest possible step I can take towards what I need, given what I have access to? Not the ideal step, the smallest possible real one. That step is your seek action for this week. 3 steps of the YUSR method are now yours. Yield, turning towards what's here. Understand, naming with precision. Seek, going towards what you actually need. On Saturday, we will explore Seek in practice. I will see you there.